My name is Brendan Daw, and I am the co-executive producer of Last Chance Kitchen. It's never easy to be one of the first ones eliminated from the competition, so Roscoe and Sasha both came in really wanting to cook their hearts out, but also have fun.
Roscoe, that adobo was like an adobo no. Like, what was it?
Worst dish I've put up in years.
and you chose the right time.
Yes.
Perfect.
Chefs have to have a tough skin, and that was what this challenge was all about. We presented chefs with several ingredients that had either hard shells or tough exteriors, tough skins, and they had to create a dish highlighting those ingredients.
Oyster pistachio, that makes sense.
Things are happening.
Things are happening. Things are happening.
Sasha created a fried oyster dish with a cherimoya, green apple puree, and a pistachio crumble. Pistachios, while most people think are kind of easy to open, usually the ones you get in the store are already pre-opened, but when they're not, they're pretty tough to get open. Luckily for Sasha, she was able to handle all of those ingredients and create a really amazing dish that Tom found to be outstanding.
You should take this and file this away and do this again, because this is really good. Wish I had more.
Our reigning chef, Sasha, competed against her very good friend, Brittany, and they had 30 minutes to create a one-pot meal. I think a one-pot challenge is something that a lot of home chefs can relate to, but stews, soups, things like that that you would typically do in a one-pot take hours to create at a low temperature. These chefs only had 30 minutes to create a one-pot dish, and that's really challenging. We had two great guest judges, Kwame and Gregory, for this episode of Last Chance Kitchen, both who cook in culinary styles that use one-pot dishes all the time, so they're really familiar with this style of cooking.
Ooh, that's looking good, Sasha.
Thank you, chef.
I see a lot of flavor developing in that pot.
That's the plan.
That's what's up.
Sasha spoke to her Italian roots in cooking and made an amazing chicken cacciatore that really bowled over all of the judges.
I wish there was some bread so I can get all of this up.
Yeah, Roscoe, if there's any left in that pot right there, you ought to get in on this.
No,
That's what I want to
You ought to get in on this.
Sasha is 2 for 2, and she's on to episode 3, and we'll see what she does.
We would be, but this is too good.
I'm gonna finish this, and I'm gonna find bread in here.
There's a bunch of it over there.
Our incoming chef is Kiki, who was eliminated for doing what Tom would pretty much call a cardinal sin, and that is serving raw chicken. So this challenge was a little bit of a surprise to our chefs. They see this amazing display of these beautiful proteins.
I'm gonna go yellowtail.
I'm doing scallops.
And what they didn't know until Tom revealed is that they would be making a raw dish.
Why not?
Yellowtail, you know what?
Why
I should walk myself back out. Should I just repack my knives? I've never done raw scallops, but you know.
First time for everything.
First time
You
for
probably
everything.
never served raw chicken either.
Yes, you know, exactly.
Kiki went with a scallop ceviche. Bright, bold flavors, a lot of acid, a lot of citrus, things like that you would find in a ceviche style dish.
I'm gonna do a little spicy relish alongside it.
What's in the spicy relish?
Some poblano, some little habanero, yeah.
Yeah, great. First thing in the morning, I love a habanero.
You know, wake your palate up. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So luckily for Kiki, redemption came for her in Last Chance Kitchen. She put up a plate that Tom was really impressed with. He loved the flavors. Her choice of scallops, which is kind of a sweet protein, just clenched the win for her, and she'll move on to the next episode.
Pressure's off now, right?
Is it?
We had two chefs this episode, both of whom had been criticized by the judges for their cooking of chicken.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To kick my ass.
So we let them battle it out in a game of chicken on this episode. They have to choose the chicken parts that they have to incorporate in their dish. And most people at home would probably choose the breast, the leg, the wing, the thigh, things like that we see every day in the grocery store. Well, not chefs here.
Feet.
Feet.
Oh my God.
Okay, now this is getting good.
They went for feet, the oyster, the skin, the liver. Tom was pretty happy that they really went for some of the more interesting chicken parts rather than the breast, wing, thigh that you'd find in your typical bucket of chicken.
Oh, chicken.
Oh, wait,
is
it's
that
chicken
liver?
mousse on bread
Is that it? She's like in the zone right now.
Jamie took the win. She made a chili chicken curry and a chicken liver pate on a baguette and was able to sneak the win out over Kiki.
You use the parts better. The liver and the oyster and the crouton, much more versatile. We'll see you next week.
For this challenge in Last Chance Kitchen, chefs had to really come full circle. Each one of them would have to draw inspiration from their first dish that they ever cooked.
Gabriel, do you remember your first dish?
Omelet?
Omelet, there you go, an omelet.
My first dish was fried rice.
Fried rice.
I was baking my mama, and I said, let me cook, let me cook. And I was like that big, let me cook, let me cook. And then she cooked the milk crate, put it up, and I went like,
We can get you a milk crate if you need one.
I do need one. I am
help you
sure.
out.
I didn't grow that much since then.
I think it's always great for chefs to kind of remember their roots. And a challenge like this can bring them back to what really started it all for them.
Did you get some crab over there, Jamie?
Yeah. Oh, Bubba Bear. This is gonna be delicious.
Jamie created a really delicious and flavorful deconstructed fried rice.
Where'd you get the lapchon? I found it, and I was like, oh.
Awesome, that's it.
The lapchang
We're
part.
upgrading this whole kitchen.
Ultimately, Jamie's deconstructed fried rice was able to win out over Gabriel's steak and eggs dish in the Full Circle Challenge.
Pack up your knives, head back home, get a little rest because you're back in the competition.
Because of Nelson's injury before episode 5 of Last Chance Kitchen, there was a spot left.
Oh, welcome to Last Chance Kitchen.
So Gabriel, Brittany, Sasha, Roscoe, and Kiki all got to cook one last dish to see who would continue on.
Whatever's left in the pantry, just make a great dish. It tells me you deserve another shot in this competition.
All of these chefs represent a pretty distinct style of cooking, and the dishes that we got really reflected that. Sasha, with her roots in Italian cooking, made a pretty bold move to make a pasta dish in 30 minutes, which anyone who's made fresh pasta knows that's not an easy task.
Pasta in 30 minutes. Tell me about it.
I did ricotta cavatelli. I did a little harissa style base, and then I used like a funky fontina and espelette as the garnish.
This particular Last Chance Kitchen judging is probably one of the hardest that I think Tom's had to do. He was really, really stumped.
I don't want to do this.
When the dishes are very similar, you can very easily point out discrepancies, but when you have 5 dishes that are all so incredibly different, it's really hard.
I mean, I can't sit here and nitpick this stuff because I like it all. Everything's well made. Everything's well seasoned too. There is one dish I'm liking just a little bit more. Sasha, you're in it.
Sasha Bear!
Sasha will continue on as the reigning chef in Last Chance Kitchen.
You'll still have 4 chefs to beat to get back into the competition. It's a long road ahead, but it's not impossible.